What's going on, my PT peeps and my Walking Dead family? One Eye Bri back to talk about the Walking Dead Season 8 discussion, comic connections about Carl's death, the future of the show without Carl, and just some other things. So spoiler warning, obviously, if you're not up to date of the comics, the show, you just don't want to know, stop watching now, spoiler warning. But 808 dropped a big bomb on us, probably the biggest of the series so far. We're going to talk about that, the future of the show, and much more. But if you can, guys, first, hit that subscribe button, helps achieve our goal of 100,000 subscribers. And we're getting close every day, thanks to awesome people like yourself. Stay in the know by subscribing, get notifications as we post stuff every day about The Walking Dead and other content. But the comic connection of Carl's death is something you might not know. If you don't read the comics, you're not going to know that by any means. But if you read the comics, you might have thought it kind of is familiar, similar to it. Now, I know the deaths aren't the same by any means. One's All Out War, Andrea's is down the road in issue 167, but there is similarities to them. And the biggest similarity is that Andrea and Carl both got bit helping others. Andrea helped Eugene, Carl helped Siddiq, and now they're both going to die because of it. And it sucks. Rick's got to be, he lost Andrea in the comic. He lost Carl, or is going to lose Carl in episode 809 when it comes back in February. And it's just similar to me because of how it went down. Eugene was surrounded by walkers, and Andrea helped him. Carl helped Siddiq. They weren't surrounded by walkers, but it's very similar. You got to read issue 167 to know a little bit more about it, the death issue and the issues before that to see how they actually died. But Andrea on the show was drastically different than comic Andrea by far. Comic Andrea was way better than the show Andrea, and I think they were leading towards that, but we never got to see it for a variety of reasons. And the actress who played Andrea on the show talked about her contract with The Walking Dead at a Walker Stalker previously, and she said that she had an 8-year contract. She bought a house in Atlanta or in Sonoya, around there. And that's kind of funny because it would have been season 8, so she would have had this death. If you look at this early picture of it, you can see Andrea with Rick doing something here, maybe leading into it. And I believe Frank Darabont and Kirkman and all of them wanted to have Andrea eventually end up with Rick after the death of Lori, but instead they put it to Michonne because of the death of Andrea on the show. And the writing just got skewed and they changed it up a little bit. Even though I love Rick and Michonne together, don't get me wrong, it's just a big change for it, just like this is a big change in season 8. Frank Darabont leaving the show changed the show's dynamic. Good, worse, better, however you feel about it, it just changed it one way or another. And it suffered in some aspects. Season 3 was kind of weak, and Andrea's death changed some things, and that was after Frank Darabont left the show. But comic Andrea and the show Andrea never got to evolve to what they were today. Michonne and Sasha kind of split the role of it. Michonne has become more of that with it. So I just thought it was interesting that the actress said that she had an 8-year deal, and this could have been her death on the show, which is crazy to think. And people posted these comments on YouTube and stuff like that too. So thank you for the information. Very cool. I thought about it myself and in different discussions, but I just thought it was a good shout out for whoever commented this. Now, Old Man Carl will not happen on the show now, which sucks because I would love to see that, even though Chandler Riggs isn't the best actor by any means, but I think he was getting the role and he was, maturing into the role and he was getting better with it over time, but we won't see it on the show. The dad had something to say about Gimple and AMC and saying that he never trusted them. And, it's just going around and it's getting messy. Now, I don't know exactly why it happened, if it's a contractual problem or money or whatever, but the role of Carl Grimes should have just been recast. I don't think Chandler Riggs makes or breaks the role of Carl Grimes. Carl should have stayed on the show, even if there was a problem with Chandler Riggs or whatever, if he was going to college or whatever they were trying to do. Just recast the role. The Whispers are coming in probably season 9. I would love to see how the story arc is going to be totally different now with Lydia and Carl. Is it going to be a male Lydia? Is it going to be Leonard, Leo, something with the line of that, or something totally different? Beta, Alpha, what's going to happen with that? This is Lydia in the comics. She teams up with Carl in various storylines and story arcs. So that's going to be different now. There's going to be no Carl. Does that mean there's no Lydia? Is there no time jump? Are there no Whispers? Is the show going to be done after season 9, season 10? Are we going to see that? Is Enid going to get the role of connecting with the Whisperers now? Is Henry going to get that role? What's going to happen? Is it going to be reversed that Beta and Alpha are going to be male-female? Is that going to be reversed? Is Enid going to team up with Alpha's son now, or however they're going to do it. What's the future of Judith? Is Judith the new Carl? Are we going to have a huge time jump where she's 15 years old and she's swinging a katana around and she's learning from Michonne, which would be really badass, by the way, if Michonne teaches her skills and that. And, I would love to see Judith actually come into a storyline and have different things, because in the comics, Carl is alive, Judith is not. On the show, Judith would be alive and Carl is not. So it's a big change, a drastic change. What do you make of it, guys? Only time will tell, but I'm just interested in your thoughts about the Carl death, the comic Andrea death. Are they similar to you? Do you see the similarities? I know they're not exactly the same by any means, but I see some similarities in it. Now, Carl's death was pretty weak. Tyrese even had a better death, I would assume, because we saw the bite happen. He was, on his way out. He got bit on the arm. He could have been saved, but he kind of gave up. And we actually saw the bite occur on Tyrese. Unlike Carl's, that happened off screen. We didn't even see it. We didn't even see anything from the wound until episode 808. Here, you actually see the walker come out of nowhere and bite Tyrese on the arm. So we actually saw it happen. We saw what he was going through and suffering, and it just ended up being what we saw. There was no hiding of it. There was no subtlety. Even Beth had a better death than Carl, and Carl is one of the original cast members. It's just crazy to think that Carl is going out this way. He shouldn't be going out at all. He should be wounded in the war, put in to get some medical attention, and then recast. Even if they didn't want to have Chandler Riggs on the show, if he didn't want to do anything. But Beth had a better death, and Carl's one of the OG, man. He's one of the original people of the series with it. It's just terrible. It's a horrible way for him to go out, and Chandler, of course, wouldn't want to be written off the show, but maybe he wanted too much money, and the writers were like, no, of course it's Gimple's and Kirkman's decision. I doubt Chandler wanted to be off the show. But here's the walker that gets pushed off of Carl, off to the side, while Carl's fighting off the woman walker on top of him. Then he rolls towards Carl's side and bites him, evidently. You don't see it at all. Watch the clip. Go online. Go on YouTube. Watch the episode. You don't see the bite happen. When the walker rolls towards him, Carl doesn't make any noise like he's getting bit, and then it pans to this lady. So you don't see anything happen. Siddiq kills this walker. Then it goes back to Carl. Carl takes his gun out, shoots the walkers, boom, boom, and it's over. And we don't see any bite actually occur. But either way, I don't think killing Carl was the original plan by any means. I just think stuff happens. Writers change their minds. Writers things. Money happens. Contractual obligations. Money comes down to this. So people get written off. People want to do other things or whatever. But now we're down to the Atlanta 3. I don't like the idea of Henry being Carl, a new Carl, the new storyline going to Henry, and he deals with Lydia and stuff. I just don't like that at all. The bite was a weak way of going out. But ultimately, I think that Carl was going to die in the writer's hands. They can't have Negan kill Carl, because if Negan does it, there's no way Rick keeps Negan alive. And that's what's going to happen at the end of the show, I feel now too. But if Carl can die, Negan can die. But anything can happen. But what do you think, guys? What do you make of it? It just doesn't make sense to me that they're doing it to just kill Carl off for artistic views and to have a good storyline, because it's not a good storyline by killing Carl off by any means. Kirkman loves Carl in the comics, so why would he kill him off on the show? It makes no sense. So that's my take on it, guys. Give me a follow on Instagram and Twitter at the PT channel. We post stuff all the time, funny pics, videos, information, Walking Dead community Facebook page and a group, a PT channel page, a lot of good stuff going on social media. Walking Dead mystery boxes are selling really well, guys. Get your orders in while you can. Place them today if you can. $38 on PayPal. Just message me directly. I'll give you the link how to pay through PayPal so I can ship it out to get it there for the holidays. That's some things that'll be in your box. Very cool stuff. We're shipping out as we speak. Fight for Us, my book series, 4 books. Book 5 will be out early 2018. I'm going to start writing it very soon. Concept art, that's Sean, Matt, Ryan, and Phil in my books. I'm Ryan in the books with a katana, and we're branching out, guys. We're getting more and more new characters, cool storylines. I'm trying to do a graphic novel, so I want to be doing more pictures and awesome things like that. But those are the 4 books. Pick up your copies today and let me know your thoughts, guys. Thanks for watching.